God lifted me up. Life can feel overwhelming at times. There are moments when we are at the end of our strength, and all we can do is reach out to God and say, God, lift me up. This prayer, though simple, is a powerful declaration of our need for God's help, for God's grace, and for His presence in our lives. Psalm 40 verse 2. David wrote, He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and out of the mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. Today we'll talk about what it means to ask God to lift us up and how He answers that prayer. The first step in experiencing God lifting you up is acknowledging your need for Him. In our weakness, God's strength becomes evident. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9. Paul wrote, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. Admitting we need God is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of trust. We are saying to God, God, I cannot do this on my own. I need you to step in. Prayer is the lifeline that connects us to God. Psalm 121 verses 1 and 2 says, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and the earth. When we cry out, God lift me up, we're inviting Him. We're inviting God into our struggles, into our fears, and into our doubts. Prayer does not have to be complicated. It is about being honest with God and trusting God to respond. When we ask God to lift us up, it is important to trust His timing. He may not answer in a way or the moment we expect, but His timing is always perfect. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. He made everything beautiful in His time. When we feel weak, remember that God's strength is available to you. Psalm 18 verse 2. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. God does not just lift us up physically, He lifts us up emotionally and spiritually. He gives us the strength to face challenges and the courage to keep going. When we cry out for God to lift us up, it is essential to anchor ourselves in His promises. God's word is filled with assurances of His love, faithfulness, and power to deliver us. Sometimes, asking God to lift us up requires us to take a step of faith. John chapter 5 verse 8. Jesus told a man who had been paralyzed for 38 years, Get up, pick up your mat and walk. The man could have doubted, but he chose to act in faith and was healed. When God lifts us up, it is an opportunity to glorify Him and encourage others. Psalm 34 verse 3. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt His name together. Sharing your testimony can inspire others to trust God in their lives. When life feels heavy, remember that God is your refuge and strength. He hears your cries, He sees your struggles, and is ready to lift you up. Psalm 33 verse 3. For you, Lord, are my shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. Cry out to him, trust his timing, rest in his promises. God is faithful, and he will lift you out of any pit and place your feet on solid ground. Till next time, peace.